Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with the opening night of the Royal Rumble 2016. Getting home and watching this as soon as I can. I will honestly tell you that I did watch this match, the opening match, which is Dean Ambrose against Kevin Owens, in my car driving home. I got off work at 5 o'clock, right as the WWE Network kicked off. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, your opening match of the Royal Rumble. I was not able to watch the pre-show, so I do not know what team ended up being picked to go into the Royal Rumble. But what a match this was. This match was jam-packed, full of action right off the bat. We'll have to see how stupid these guys are, seeing how you would think that Ambrose and Kevin Owens, both being, they're huge star, would want to be a part of the Royal Rumble to be WWE champion. Yeah, these guys have a personal feud between each other, but to go out there and have a last man standing match before going out there and having a match for the WWE Championship, you'd think you'd want to be as fresh as humanly possible. This match started out by Dean Ambrose doing a leap out of the ring and knocking Kevin Owens out over the announce table, which was followed by Kevin Owens doing a cannonball, knocking Dean Ambrose through a barricade. From there, they would get into the ring. They would break kendo sticks over each other and just inflict tons of pain. I just the whole time this was going on, I kept on thinking, why in the world are they doing this to each other? We saw Kevin Owens go through two chairs that were set up inside of the ring, a sort of a reverse power bomb. From there, we go to the steel steps on the outside, which left Dean Ambrose laid out and didn't know, what this was going to go from here. Kevin Owens stacking up tables on the outside to getting back into the ring, and Dean Ambrose wrapping a chair around Kevin Owens' head. This was close, as close you're going to get to a Kevin Owens-Kevin Steen match from ROH here. But the finale came with Dean Ambrose putting Kevin Owens through the table off of the top rope. Huge spot, which was able to get the final 10 count. And Dean Ambrose is still your Intercontinental Champion. We'll have to see if Kevin Owens is going to be able to go on and wrestle in the main event for the WWE Championship. We also have the Usos against the New Day. The New Day taking 15 minutes for their intro to come down to the ring, saying that Francesca wasn't going to be with them, only to show they've got a new one. So we got the outside interference item, and let's see if the Usos can win those WWE Tag Team titles. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with the New Day going up against the Usos at the WWE Royal Rumble. This match, honestly, to me, didn't really grab me a whole bunch. This was the first real full match that I was able to see because of driving home during Owens versus Ambrose, even though I was able to watch most of it in the car. But, sitting in the house, getting an actual real feel about what was going down. The New Day got the win over the Usos. They were the team that I did pick to get the victory here in this match. Basically, the match took forever to get started, with the New Day coming out without Xavier Woods, basically holding another public service for Francesca, the trombone, or whatever the heck the instrument is, basically to only reveal that they had gotten another one. Francesca, number 2, coming out to make its debut. The Usos and the New Day, they went out there and they did their best to give everybody their awesome spots. We saw Usos flying out of the rings. We saw big, huge maneuvers. We even saw Xavier Woods getting into the action when he's the man on the outside, hitting a tornado DDT on a member of the Usos when the referee was distracted. What was up with the Usos hitting the DX crotch chop in the middle of this? I know everybody wants to see the return of the Attitude Era and things like that, but they were getting into it, and they were getting into it a little bit too much. But in this match, we see a spot where the Usos are getting the upper hand on the New Day. But Kofi Kingston gets a little bit close to the corner. Big E goes in and makes the tag, but it's behind the Usos' back. And as the Usos hit their big spot, we see Big E sneak in from behind, hitting a big, powerful slam, and the 1-2-3 as Big E gets the roll up, and the New Day keeps the WWE Tag Team Championships. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight, basically, as we're sitting here talking all about WWE's Royal Rumble 2016. And in this match, we saw Kalisto going up against Alberto Del Rio for the United States Championship. And honestly, I think that I was taken out of this match just a little bit. I didn't think that this was the best match that I've ever seen. I just don't think that I really have connected with Del Rio going up against Kalisto. Kalisto getting the first 2 wins and immediately having the title taken off him sort of took me out of the match, honestly, just a little bit. I don't know. Every time Kalisto's in the ring, they're trying to make us think that it's the new reincarnation of Rey Mysterio. If WWE wants Rey Mysterio, just put Kalisto in a Rey Mysterio mask and just put him out there and just call him Rey Mysterio. This guy is wrestling for Lucha Underground as well as AAA now. He's not coming back to the WWE. I don't know why you're trying to give name recognition to a guy who, used to work there, who at first you guys didn't even want, and then all of a sudden he started having great matches, and you were like, oh, let's push this guy and make him into a star. We'll sell lots of masks. We'll sell lots of t-shirts. We'll make him World Heavyweight Champion. We'll bury him every chance that we get. And the whole deal never really made sense with Mysterio and WWE. He had great marketability, and it was like they never really wanted to, to sort of connect with that. They fought and fought and fought to make Mysterio champion, and then as soon as he made him champion, they just tried to make him look bad. And this isn't a video about Rey Mysterio. Someday it will go into the WWE Hall of Fame. It just doesn't make a lot of sense how you're trying to, make Kalisto into Rey Mysterio. Let Kalisto be Kalisto. Let him find his own way and go from there. But Kalisto gets a surprise. Salida del Sol. I still think that's the name of the move. But it was a long match of Del Rio beating down on Kalisto, trying to embarrass him. At one point, it even turned into Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio from back in 2010, I think is when that was, when Del Rio made his debut and his destiny was to beat Rey Mysterio and become that new star. But he got him into the corner, put him up on the top shelf, and then basically was trying to rip his mask off, trying to take that away from him where he would lose it. Oh, they're showing a replay of the beginning. Oh, is Henry? Wrong guy. I don't even know who's going to win this. But Kalisto ends up winning the United States Championship. Hey, and Swagger and Henry are going on to be in the Rumble. I'm all kinds of fired up now. I didn't like the Kalisto versus Del Rio match that much. I'm just counting down until we get to the Royal Rumble. I think all we have left is the Divas match and then the main event. So we'll see what goes from there. Alright, I'll be 100% honest with you. At this point of the Royal Rumble here tonight, there hasn't been a good match since the opener. I didn't really like the tag match. I didn't really like the United States title match. And the Divas match just came out here and it was a snore. Of course, it was Charlotte going up against Becky Lynch. The story of the whole match was basically that Charlotte is now a full-blown heel. And that Charlotte is the new dirtiest player of the game. With Ric Flair on the outside, basically, there was nothing that they wouldn't do to try and gain an advantage of this. They really tried to portray Becky Lynch as the ultimate underdog coming into this match. And basically, oh my God, Sasha Banks just came out. Are we going to do Sasha versus Charlotte? Oh, this is going to be good right here. All right, looks like we're going to get a stare down, and maybe Sasha Banks is finally getting the push that we've seen that she deserves in the WWE for a long time. But basically, we saw Becky having an advantage in this match, and then when she gets to the outside where she's beating on Charlotte, Ric Flair lean in and plant a big old smooch on her. I guess he couldn't hit her, he couldn't touch her in any way, so this is just one way to get her advantage of this, and Charlotte was able to capitalize and throw Becky back into the ring, where Becky would try to get back in the ring herself, and Charlotte would go for the low blow to the gut. One thing that was going on during this match a lot was that basically Becky Lynch was having a lot of problems with her boots. There was a lot of flair on these things, a lot of buckles, a lot of strings, a lot of this, that, and the other, and they just kept on basically coming off, and she had to basically stop the match and be able to do what she was doing. At one point in the match, Becky finally locked in the arm bar where Ric Flair jumped up on the ring and he threw his jacket onto Becky Lynch, and that was the disqualification that was needed for Charlotte to reclaim her championship. But I guess the story of the night is basically that Sasha Banks is maybe Sasha Banks is joining up with Charlotte. I can't tell. It looks like she's sort of joining up with her. I thought she was coming out to challenge her for a match. Ric Flair's giving her the woo. I think we're going to have to see more to come from this. But it looks like Team Bad is officially split. And Sasha's now getting that push that we've been looking forward to her for coming to NXT for a long time. What a surprise coming to us here tonight with the Divas Championship match. I honestly didn't think that Becky Lynch versus Charlotte was anything to write home about. And as soon as the match was over and Charlotte was, sort of soaking in her victory, Sasha Banks comes out for the back and basically makes a statement. Her first real statement on the WWE main roster since the Divas Revolution really began. Team Bad was sort of always in the background, sort of always a, not really a main fixture. It was always about the Bellas and Team PCB. And now that it looks like Charlotte has beat Paige, Charlotte has beat Becky Lynch. Now Sasha Banks has come out and it looked like she was almost sort of recreating their stable that they had in NXT, where basically they gave respect to each other. And then Charlotte went to go basically leave and walk out of the ring. And at this point, Sasha Banks came up behind her with a back cracker, the good old Kalisto finisher, and was able to place in her own submission of her own on Charlotte. And it looks like Sasha Banks has stamped her name to be the next contender to go after the Divas Championship. This is a really big step for Sasha. Basically, since being called up, she hasn't been able to do a whole lot of the main roster. But Sasha versus Charlotte has me pretty fired up. New champ, Triple H. I don't know how many times he's been a champion, 14 times, but my favorite wrestler of all time, Triple H, just got the strap back, and there's no boos at the Royal Rumble. This is a huge win. This was awesome. I thought that Triple H was going to win. I had been calling this for months. I thought that as soon as they had said that basically it was going to be, I thought that was Pat Patterson getting in the ring right there to congratulate him. You got Vince, you've got Stephanie out there. Wait a minute, when did The Miz get in the ring? I don't remember The Miz getting in there and get eliminated, but he's not on commentary anymore, so one way or another he got dumped out. But I thought maybe they were going to go with some sort of a screw job, but it didn't happen the way that it happened. This honestly was a very fun Rumble. Very good. Triple H gets another reign on top. Triple H eliminated Roman Reigns when he went over the top rope to be gone from the Rumble. Triple H is getting the firework treatment. He's going to WrestleMania. I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm all fired up. This is great. My guy, Triple H. I was not expecting the long ordeal with him and Dean Ambrose. I thought that honestly maybe Roman Reigns would get back into the ring and snap on Triple H again, and that would be where he would cost Roman Reigns would cost Triple H the championship. But a very good Rumble, very fun, tons of fun stuff going on in this Rumble. From AJ Styles debuting and coming out at number 3. I'm trying to honestly get the Wikipedia because they're going to have the thing, and I'll be able to run down the Rumble really fast. But God, how do you remember everything that goes down in a Rumble so fast? AJ came out at number 3. I liked the way that they panned the camera. Basically, they haven't filled in the fucking thing yet. But, oh, dude, fun stuff. That everything went down. Roman Reigns, was in the Rumble at number 1. At one point, he was taken out by the League of Nations, who all came down at one point, who attacked Roman Reigns, and he went to the back, where basically, he was gone from the Rumble from at least 10 spots. At number 29, when Sheamus came out, he came back out and he hit the big Superman punch. Brock Lesnar came out around somewhere in the 20s, and he had a moment where he basically was fighting all 4 members of the Wyatts: Strowman, Harper, Rowan, and Bray Wyatt. You can definitely see they are really going to with Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. Looks like it's going to be a thing. Brock took forever to leave ringside once he was eliminated. So that's going to be a little bit weird. Returns of the night was Sami Zayn, who's not really a part of the main roster yet. He had that match against Cena as a part of the United States Challenge. But now he's finally back. He was in the Royal Rumble. He came in. He immediately went after Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens Owens was the one who eliminated AJ Styles, who was in the Rumble for about 22 minutes, I believe, at one point. Lots of geeks. Kofi got his moment in the sun where he got thrown out of the Rumble, but landed on Biggie's shoulders, and the New Day paraded around the ring. They all came down to the ring. Only one member was in the Rumble this year. It was just Kofi. Not as many surprises as we thought we were going to get, but still a very good, very fun match, setting up easily Triple H versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. They'll have to fill in the rest of the holes as they go along. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, definitely going to be happening sooner than later, whether if it's a WrestleMania match or an NXT Dallas match, we'll have to see, but very fun. Triple H, my man. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the WWE Royal Rumble 2015 results and review. Very fun Rumble here, a very good show. Honestly, the Rumble is so exciting with 30 guys coming out. I'm not sure if it was every minute and a half, every 2 minutes. Sometimes it seemed like it was forever. Sometimes it seemed like another guy was coming out right after the fact. I will tell you this: Ambrose versus Owens, fucking awesome match. New Day versus the Usos, Kalisto versus Del Rio, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. All 3 matches, about 40 minutes in between. Duds. Huge duds. I didn't get into any of these matches. I couldn't get down with any of that stuff. But in your opener, Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens beat the hell out of each other when Ambrose and Owens both came out to the Rumble in the main event. Both of them had to drag themselves to the ring. Both of them, and Kevin Owens sold it better than Ambrose did. Ambrose always seems like he's beat up, though, I guess you can say. Ambrose getting the big spot with Kevin Owens in the last man standing match, where he wins the Intercontinental Championship, and he'll go on from there. It looks like Kevin Owens will be going in a different direction, where he's going to be fighting against Sami Zayn sooner or later, and then from there, Ambrose will probably take the Intercontinental Championship and go into a different direction. The New Day going up against the Usos, another match that wasn't that great. That Biggie Langston took advantage of a blind tag to Kofi Kingston, and the Usos were hitting their finisher, thinking they were going to win the match, for Biggie Langston to come scoop one of them up, hit the big press slam, 1, 2, 3. New Day keeps their championships, and they move on as well. In your United States Championship match, Kalisto comes from behind to become a 2-time U.S. champ, beating Alberto Del Rio, thanks to his second De La Soul, whatever the heck that move is called, thing there. I don't know, too much championship moving back and forth for the United States Championship. Make me really care. I don't know. I like Del Rio. Kalisto, he's all right, but it just wasn't for me. Charlotte used some dirty games to basically beat Becky Lynch. And then after that, Sasha Banks came out to challenge Charlotte, putting her in the Banks statement, and putting herself as the #1 contender to the Divas Championship. Sasha really getting a green light in WWE, making it very fun. We get to the Royal Rumble. It started off with Roman Reigns versus Rusev, #1 and WWE. Rusev was eliminated within the minute span, and #3 came out was AJ Styles, making his WWE debut. He came out, and him and Roman Reigns had a stare down. They fought it out before Tyler Breeze came out, and Tyler Breeze was eliminated as soon as he basically got in there. AJ Styles definitely got a huge pop. He got a huge pop for me. You might have heard it, but I was yelling and screaming. I was getting really, really loud. But Roman and AJ, for the most part, stayed away from each other for the rest of the night, and AJ was in the Rumble. He had a good showing. He just didn't do a whole lot, honestly. I don't think he had a lot of eliminations, if any. But AJ in WWE, definitely a huge story and big news. From there we go to Curtis Axel, a really cool introduction with Axel coming out with all members of the Social Outcasts as they cheer him on throughout the match. Jericho came out at #6, followed by Kane, Goldust, Ryback. A whole bunch of geeks coming in there. Kofi Kingston, Titus O'Neil. At #12, R-Truth came down, where R-Truth thought he was in the middle of a Money in the Bank match. He immediately came down with the ladder, slid it into the middle of the ring, climbed up to the top, thinking he was going to grab the Money in the Bank briefcase, only to come down and be looked at like, what the hell are you doing, by Kane, and immediately dumped out. From here, we have #13, the first member of the Wyatts, Luke Harper, Stardust. Big Show comes in at number 15. He's in there for a while. Around this time, we see League of Nations and Vince McMahon make their way down to the ring, pull Roman Reigns out of the Rumble, and setting him up on the Spanish announce table for Rusev to go running from the third table all the way, doing a big splash on Roman Reigns on the first. From here, medical assistants come and take Roman Reigns and take him to the back. At this point, when basically he's going up the ramp, it looks like Roman is getting off of the stretcher and fighting off the help. It looks like he's going to go back to the Rumble. Neville comes out at number 16, and when he comes running down, he almost runs right into Roman Reigns, almost not knowing that he was going to be there. Braun Strowman comes out at number 17, has a big showdown between him and Big Show. Kevin Owens came down at number 18. He was the man to eliminate AJ Styles, throwing him over the top and even hitting the AJ, I don't have enough room, I'm hitting the wall right here, but hitting the AJ pose immediately after he did it. From there, we got Dean Ambrose coming down at 19. Sami Zayn was a big surprise coming out of NXT for his WWE return, of course, because he got injured during the Cena match. He came down and immediately went toe-to-toe, swinging it out with Kevin Owens. They were fighting it out big time. And from there, I think Sami eliminated Kevin Owens. It's making you think that we're going to get Owens versus Sami, if not at WrestleMania, maybe at NXT Dallas. I never saw Sami Zayn get eliminated, so I don't know how that came out. From here, the ring starts to fill up with Eric Rowan, Mark Henry, Brock Lesnar comes down at number 23. He was in the ring and he was fighting guys off. He dumped out a bunch of guys. He eliminated Harper, Strowman, and Rowan, but they all came back in there to basically eliminate Bray a couple numbers later. Swagger came out at number 24. He was immediately eliminated by Brock Lesnar. Miz came out at 25 and then joined the announce team. I never even really noticed that he got into the ring and was eliminated, but I guess he got eliminated by Roman Reigns. Del Rio came out at number 26. Number 27 was Bray Wyatt, who was joined by Harper, Strowman, and Rowan. I believe that were all eliminated at this point, but all got in and eliminated Brock Lesnar. Now, why wouldn't they stay to make sure that Bray Wyatt won? I don't know, but that's logic for you. Dolph Ziggler came out at number 28. Number 29, Sheamus came down, and during his introduction to the ring, we had Roman Reigns coming running back to the Rumble, hitting a big Superman punch on Sheamus to join the fracas, and then from there we had Triple H coming out at number 30. Real big surprise, coming out at the tights, not the suit. We didn't get backstory of Triple H beating somebody up to take their number or anything like that. He just happened to have it. Lucky him. So the plan must have been to make sure that he was going to become champion, throwing out the storyline from a few years ago where the McMahons, Stephanie and Vince, didn't want Triple H to fight anymore because he passed out ringside when he was trying to fight against Curtis Axel. Final four came down to Sheamus, Roman Reigns, Triple H, and Dean Ambrose. Funny thing was Triple H telling Bray Wyatt to attack Roman Reigns, and then Bray turning on Triple H and punching him in the face, basically saying that he wasn't going to be told what to do. Sheamus is eliminated. Roman Reigns gets dumped over the top by Triple H, who hits him with it. Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it. Fun stuff. And ends up being Triple H versus Dean Ambrose in a weird sort of showdown of them going back and forth. But Triple H is able to throw Dean Ambrose over the top to be the champion, be the winner, go on to be the WWE champion. I'm guessing to go on to main event WrestleMania.